Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Welcome. It's just almost 3 o'clock, so we're going to take some time just to wait for some of our other friends to come in. I hope you've had a good day today. What is it? Wednesday? Yes, middle of the week. We're almost done with the week. Yay. I mean, after this, what do we have? We have an hour and a bit to work, and then we can go home, come back tomorrow, and then we've got the weekend upon us. So we've made it, right? We've made it through. We'll take a little more time just to let some of our friends in. If you've joined us, hello, welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hello, friends. Good to see you all. Good afternoon. Welcome to our Healthy Mind session. So good to be here with you. All right, cool. I think we're a little after 3 o'clock, so I think we're going to jump straight in so that we can make sort of good use of the next 30 minutes that we have together. And I'm going to ask you, even before I introduce myself and before we start and speak to each other, I'm going to ask you just to straight away, just close your eyes for me. And I'm going to ask you to just take a moment, right? To just get off the hamster wheel. Might have had a really busy day. You've got a whole bunch of things to do. You've still got a whole bunch of things to do. You're stressed, you're busy. There's a lot of stuff. And so I'm going to invite you right now to just take a moment. Just to take a moment and to just settle down. If you're seated, just sit in a really comfy position for me and just close your eyes and just be here for a moment and give yourself permission to be here. And I want you to take one deep inhalation through the nose and just pay full attention to as it starts and as your lungs fill up. And then as you get to that point where your lungs can't fill up anymore, I want you to pay attention to the moment you have to exhale, and now just slowly exhale and allow yourself to exhale fully and to just take one more deep breath for me and for yourself. And this works the nervous system and it helps us just to relax. And then I want you to just stay with me for a moment with your eyes closed. And I want you to imagine that you are going to your inbox on your computer, right? Your email inbox. And I want you to double click on the little icon. That's that little envelope if you've got an Outlook or even Mac Mail. And I want you to click on it and your emails open. And as your emails open, I want you to click on the first email. That's an email from me. Some of your computers are slower than others. I'll give it time. Okay, and as you open it up, I want you to imagine, like I said, that there's a little email from me. And I'm going to read that email for you. And it says, I hope this email finds you well. I hope this email finds you calm. I hope this email finds you unflustered about your inbox. I hope this email finds you in a state of acceptance, that this email isn't exactly important in the cosmic scheme of things. I hope this email finds your work happily unfinished. I hope this email finds you beneath a beautiful sky and the wind tenderly caressing your hair like an invisible mother. I hope this email finds you with sunlight on your face. I hope this email finds you eating some blissfully sweet grapes. I hope this email finds you well, but you know what? It is okay if it doesn't, because we all have bad days. I hope this email finds you reading a really good poem or something else that requires no direct response from you. I hope this email finds you far away from this email. And you can open up your eyes and come back to us, which is technically far away from an email, right? Because you've chosen to spend the next 30 minutes and your self-care and your mental well-being with you today. And I just want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for putting yourself first for the next 25 minutes. So let me introduce myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Grant Nash. I'm from Mindful Revolution. Just a quick introduction to myself, because we're going to spend a lot of time together over the next sort of 14 days. Myself and my colleagues are going to spend time with you. So I just want to introduce myself. Like I say, my name is Grant Nash. I have a master's degree in philosophy, specializing in applied ethics. My research was in Aristotelian eudaimonia, and that's pretty much human flourishing. So this is kind of something that really intrigues me. Why we, or what we need to choose to help us flourish and how we as humans flourish. I've had 17 years of formal and informal training in Eastern philosophy and practices. I, however, spent most of my life working in broadcasting. I was an executive of 2 really big stations here in South Africa, radio stations, and I worked with those 2 brands. So that's pretty much a little bit about me. So you know where I'm coming from. Over the next few days, like I said, we are going to jump into this really exciting 14-day challenge entitled A Healthy Mind. And I love this because this is exactly what leads to that state of eudaimonia, right? That state of human flourishing, because all of us want a healthy mind. And so we're gonna do and spend 14 days together unpacking what that means. So we've got the live Q&A. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you want to say something, please just pop it on the live Q&A. I can see that and I'll be able to answer that, and we'll be able to share with each other. So these live events are obviously kind of difficult because we don't get to see each other, but we can, through that live Q&A, have a conversation. So please, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, if you'd just like to connect with your fellow friends from anywhere in the world. I know a lot of people are joining us obviously from Namibia, but then there are some people who are in South Africa, some who are in the UK. So hello everybody, so good to be here with you. So like I said, over the next 14 days in our challenge entitled A Healthy Mind, we are going to look at the knowledge, we are going to look at the sciences, and we are going to look at some skills and practices that we can use to help us build a healthier mind, a mind that is fit for purpose in 2021. So I want to just start by saying straight off the bat, right, that in the beginning of this 14-day challenge, this is a proactive look at our self-care and our well-being, right? So I encourage you, if you are in a space currently where you are feeling really depressed, where you are feeling super anxious, to please speak to a professional, speak to someone, right? Do that one-on-one interaction with someone and go and have those conversations, right? A little personal story, a friend's girlfriend passed away this weekend. She sadly, and you can see that I'm a little bit emotional, she took her own life. And we as a friendship circle, we're shattered, right? And we're broken and we're heartbroken for her. And apologies. It's so important to remember that there are institutions and spaces and workplaces where you can get that help that you need. And so please go and do that, right? Get that one-on-one care that you need. Our conversations are going to be very much about the proactive, the self-care and the well-being space that we're in. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing it too. And I hope that it is really going to be beneficial to you. So I spoke a little bit about a fit for purpose mind for 2021. So what do I mean by that, right? What do I mean by that? So the reality is that some scientists tell us, and I think it's a consensus, that we are about 200,000 years old as humans, right? Now, some people believe we're about 10,000 years old, but either way, we're pretty old. If you think that I was, 38, in the big scheme of things, if we were 10,000 years old or 200,000 years old. And so over that time, through epigenetics and through nurturing, we as humans have weathered some serious storms, right? And we've been really good. We've been really clever. We've survived. But our world has changed around us really quickly. And our minds and our brains might not have been able to catch up as quickly. And so what we've got is we're carrying around what I like to call the cave person mind. The cave person mind that was very helpful 200,000 years ago, very helpful 11,750 years ago, very helpful 10,000 years ago, but not very helpful today. And so we are going to speak about right now the 4 ways in which we carry our cave person mind with us. Okay, and this cave person mind was very helpful back then, but today might not be so helpful. And we're going to chat about that today. We're going to do a little quiz. So I'm going to ask you a little bit later to grab a pen and a paper, or you can even do it on your phone. That's going to be some fun. And then we're going to speak about what we're going to do to move this forward and what me and you can do to try to get our minds out of the cave person mind of 200,000 years ago and into 2021 so that it's fit for purpose. Okay, so 4 ways in which our cave person mind is not helpful and is still with us in 2021. I want you to imagine to go back 11,750 years ago. And I want you to imagine that you are in your cave, okay, because we used to live in caves back in the times. And we were in our caves and we were around the fire, and now one of you needed the toilet. Yeah, you needed the toilet. Okay, so you got up and you walked out of your cave. It was in the middle of the day, so don't worry. You got up and you walked out of the cave. It was cold. That's why there was a fire. And what happens? Okay, what happens is the mind at the time, 11,700 years ago, first begins to look for danger. Okay, that's what it does. Its default is look for danger. Its default is to look around and see, where are the lions? Where are the saber-toothed tigers? Where are the things that are going to kill me? Because remember, I'm just a lowly little human, right? I don't have fangs. I don't have strong things to kill the lion. The only thing I have is kind of my tribe, which can help me. So I've got to look out for danger immediately. I don't have guns. I don't have anything to protect myself. So what I do is I step out of the cave with what I call the attitude of defeatism. Everything is trying to kill me. And I'm programmed to do that so that I don't get killed. Right? So what I do is I walk out and I go, lion, 200 meters away, which means I can quickly run to the bush, have a little wee-wee, and then run back and I'm going to be fine. So that's what the mind does, looks for the lion, looks for all worst case scenarios, runs to the toilet and runs on back, right? That's what the mind has been programmed to do. Now, move this forward to 2021, however, and the mind is still doing that. Right, so back 11,000 years ago, I guarantee you that there was no positive Pete sitting with his wife, beautiful Beatrix, around the campfire, speaking about how everything is going to be okay and she just needs to be positive. No. They were on tenterhooks all the time. Why? Because saber-toothed tigers, because lions, right? Because they were always on the lookout for the thing that was going to kill us. So we brought this mind into 2021. So what does that mean? We think for and of the worst possible scenario. So for example, if you get an email from your boss and your boss is a little bit angry because you forgot to put the comma, what is that thing called? The Oxford comma. In grammar, yes. Okay, you forgot to put the Oxford comma, and so your boss is shouting at you. We think the boss is trying to kill us. That's what we're programmed to think. Worst case scenario, the boss is going to fire us. We're going to lose our job. And we are taught and we are programmed to think that way. When in actual fact, all the boss wanted us to do is use the spell check for the Oxford comma. Or an angry customer or a client who comes in, we go into extreme survival mode straight off the bat, right? Why? They saber-toothed tigers. That's how we've been trained to think. They're out to kill us. So the mind is constantly on the lookout for things that are out to kill us. And we've been hardwired for this negative outlook, not a positive one, for a negative outlook. So when we step into the world, when we envisage the future, we envisage all the things that try to kill us. This is a productive way to think back 11,750 years ago. So your number one thing that your cave person mind is doing is looking into the future and the present and imagining all the things that can go wrong. It's got an attitude of defeatism, not optimism, a hopelessness, not a hopefulness. And this is just the cave person mind, not a problem. The next thing that we carry with us is Russ Harris in his book, A Happiness Trap. He says, then our friends, remember Pete and Beatrix, well, he didn't say their names, but just go with me. Their mind is constantly replaying scenarios over and over again, but the scenarios that they're replaying from the past are the ones that are going to help them survive. So what does this mean? This means that Pete remembers when that lion that I spoke about, that lion killed Uncle Harold. Terrible story. The lion killed Uncle Harold. So Pete remembers that day, and Pete remembers what Uncle Harold was doing, and it replays over and over in Pete's mind so that Pete can survive if the lion comes back. He needs to learn from the experiences of the past. And so what he does is he plays over and over in his mind the negative things that happened so that he can survive. Now, in the modern world, we do exactly the same thing. We go over and over issues in the mind, and it's programmed to believe That thing that caused me harm, let me play it over and over again so that I can learn from it. So, for example, that email, right? If me and you just learn how to use the Oxford comma, or we download Grammarly to help us with our spelling, the issue's gone, right? The issue's gone. But notice how we replay that issue over and over again. It's the constant bringing up of that issue and replaying it over and over. And so our second thing we do as cave person brain is ruminate on the negative of the past over and over. And this causes us grave unhappiness now. And we carry our past problems with us, and these shape our brains and these shape our behavior in 2021. So far, not a good outlook, right? So far, we've got a hopelessness that we step into the world with. We've also got this replaying of the negative things over and over and over again. And this helps shape our environments in 2021. And then something else that our cave person friend Beatrix and Pete have is relationships are really important for them, as they are today, but they were very, very important back in the day. And what I mean by this is that the tribe was very important, because that lion, when it comes and attacks us, if there's 7 of us, we're stronger. When there's 1 of us, we're in trouble. Look at me. I tell you for free now that if I was walking on the savannah on my own back in the day, and the lion saw me, I was a goner, right? I can't run fast, I can't fight, there's no ways. If there were 8 of me, it could have been a different situation. So we are pre-programmed to understand that the tribe is important, that we've got to go to the tribe and be a part of the tribe. And what does that mean? That means that we are constantly comparing ourselves to the tribe, that we are constantly working on our social standing with the tribe. This is really important, because if the tribe kick me out and I'm on my own, lion will attack me and it's a problem. And so what begins to happen now in 2021, however, is that our tribe is very, very big, right? We are connected to the world. And so what do? We go into Instagram and we begin to compare ourselves to the rest of the tribe. And we want to be liked by the tribe. And then we look at all their abs. I mean, every boy on Instagram, every man on Instagram has abs that I don't know how. It's not possible, right? So I'm comparing myself to the richest in Hollywood. I'm comparing my life to so many other people. And this, of course, is making me unhappy, because if you compare yourself to Elon Musk, you're going to fall short. This is just, it is what it is. And so this diminishes our sense of self-worth. Now, back in the day, that was important, because Elon Musk was the dude in the cave with me, and I had to impress him. I had to measure myself up against him. I had to say, was I as useful as Mr. Elon Musk back in the day? Can I be more useful so that the tribe doesn't kick me out? But it's not helpful today. It's not helpful today to compare myself to Elon Musk. And so this is a bad idea. So our sense of self-worth begins to diminish. Again, let's paint this picture, right? So number 1, a sense of hopelessness for the future, because we're looking out for the negative things, a rumination on the negative things in the past. And then I'm constantly comparing myself today, and this gives me that diminished sense of self-worth. And finally, Uncle Pete and Beatrix, remember them, the cave people? They had this thing of gathering, right? If they had more food, they won. If they had better, cleaner water, they won. If they had more weapons, they won. If they had a better shelter, they won. And so what did? They hoard and stored, baby. They hoard and store. This is what they did, right? The more they could get, the better off. And guess where we've ended up? In the same space. We think that these things that we hoard, everything else around us, all our material stuff is going to bring us happiness, because we're programmed to think that. And the reality is that that just does not cause us or bring us to a happier, healthier space. So we think things and more things and more things are going to make us happy, but they don't. They don't. So the reality is that we've got these 4 defaults that we bring with us into 2021. We bring senses of hopelessness. We bring a rumination onto the past that makes us unhappy. We bring this comparison into 2021, and we bring these, what I like to call junk values, materialistic values, into 2021. And I am here to tell you that your stress, your anxiety, your unhappiness, this is totally normal. It's our cave person mind and how we've been set up. And this is what we have. This is what we come into the world with. And so instead of labeling ourselves as sick or wrong or not worthy, actually, this is just cave person mind. And it's totally normal. You know, it was great for 11,750 years ago. So technically, here's the deal. I want you for a moment, and I know that it's kind of feels counterintuitive and a little bit weird, but I want you to, for a moment, just to thank your cave person mind for keeping you alive. Just thank it. Thank you, cave person mind, for keeping me alive, for keeping generation upon generation upon generation alive. And don't chastise yourself for feeling this way. Understand that this is what we are pre-wired for. When I started working in a corporate, so like I said, I was in broadcasting, right? So I was actually a radio presenter. We didn't work much. We worked like 3 hours a day and we spoke a lot of rubbish. And then I got a real job. So I was in corporate and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I would get home at night and I'd be like, how come everybody else seems to cope really well with the stress and I'm not? How come they're all full of energy and I'm exhausted? How come Facebook tells me that everybody's having a good time and I feel like rubbish? And then I began to realize that I was not sick, that there was nothing wrong with me. It's just that I had a really strong cave person brain. And that cave person brain and mind is not so fit for purpose in 2021. That's all. Just not so fit for purpose in 2021. So I want to play a little game with you. Are you ready to play a little game? We're going to do a little quiz, right? So what I need from you right now is I need you to get a pen and paper, or you can just use your phone to do that if you want to. So here we go. And all good game shows need a really good theme tune. Yes, please. Good afternoon and welcome to the game called How Strong is My Cave Person? Mind. This is how it works. I need you to grab a pen and a paper. You can grab like me. I've just done over here. I don't know if you can see me. If not, just get your phone out and I want you to give yourself some points. So here we go. Okay, so what I need you to do is if you answer the following question with a yes, I want you to give yourself 1 point. There's no right or wrong answer here, right? If you answer it with maybe, I want you to give yourself half a point. And if you answer it with no, then give yourself 0 points next to that, right? And so what I would do is I'd write 1 and then give yourself 1 point or half a point or 0, 2, and then give yourself 1 point, half a point or 0. And we have 10 questions. So let's get through them quickly. Here they are. Here's your first 5 questions. Okay. So most times, number one, when I drink my morning coffee, I do it slowly and I savor the smell and the taste, taking a moment to just be with my coffee and I don't just guzzle it down. So is that a 1? For yes, that is correct. For half, maybe, or for now, I just drink my coffee. And then you get a 0. Okay, next one. I am aware of my thoughts much of the time and don't let them overwhelm me. Is that a yes? Is that a maybe? Or is that a no? I'm aware of my thoughts most of the time and I don't let them overwhelm me. That's a yes, you get a point. That's a sometimes, then you get a half a point. So I would be a half a point there. Okay, I'd give myself half a point. Number 3, I make an effort to be compassionate with myself and those around me. Is that a yes? 1? Is that a maybe? Or is that a no? And you get a 0. Number 4, I am okay with not being perfect. Number 5, I accept that I can't control life and know how to let go when things don't go my way. Okay, how are we doing? Cool, we're going to move on to the next one. Let's go. Now, just to let you know, I just want this little thing for you. This is between you and between yourself. You're not going to share this. So just go through it, be honest with yourself. Number 6, I'm okay with having difficult feelings sometimes. I'm okay with having difficult feelings sometimes. So again, I would have a half a mark there because sometimes I don't like difficult feelings and I want to push them away. So I'd give myself half a mark. All right, number 7, when something good happens in life, I take time to appreciate it before moving on to the next thing. Maybe I also get a half a mark there. I notice changes in my body when my emotions change. So like my heart starts racing or my muscles tense up when I feel stressed. What do you think? Is that a yes? Is that a maybe? Is that a no? Number 9, I occasionally spend time alone to take stock of what is important. And number 10, When I walk outside, I'm aware of my surroundings. So I get a fat 0 on number 10 because I need to tell you a story. I went for a walk the other day and they literally painted the entire building next to my building and I didn't even notice. It's a different color. I don't know who, I don't know when the scaffoldings were. Did it happen overnight? No, I was just not aware of the building. It's bad. It went from a gray to a black. I didn't even know. Such a cave person brain. I get a 0 out of 10 there. Okay, so those are the questions. I hope you've seen them all. Let's go straight back to how do we score, Grant? Right, so we score pretty simply. What I want you to do is I want you to calculate those numbers, right? So count them up quickly. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many points did you get? How many points did you get? Don't tell us. Just stick with it, right? If you scored 7 or over, I want to tell you that your mind is closer to 2021 than it is to 200,000 years ago. Well done. Your mind is wearing jeans and a t-shirt and you're good to go. And what I'm going to ask you to do is come to these 14 days for a healthy mind with an open mind. Maybe you learn a few things, but I also want you to be able to share with other people because you are clearly more 2021 and this is a good thing. If you are between 5 and 7, like most people, you're doing good. Your mind is like wearing a pair of jeans at the bottom and then it's got a little animal skin on the top. Okay, so it's like half here, half in cave person, which is cool. And I think it needs some modernizing maybe. And so enjoy this 14-day challenge with us. Okay, and then if you scored 5 or below, then you and Pete and Beatrix, you guys are best friends, right? You're good friends. And me, I love a good relationship. So I'm not dogging you in the least. And I think you're going to enjoy these 14 days. So come along the ride, come along with it, enjoy it, and just be present with us, right? And the great thing about this is that we can jolt our mind back. We can jolt our brain back to 2021. And that's what we're going to spend the next 14 days doing. We are going to literally rewire the brain, grow the brain, the parts of the brain that are stuck in 800 BC. We're going to rewire those parts of the brain so that we can have a happier, fit for purpose mind in 2021. And this can be done, friends. We have the tools and we have the expertise now to be able to move our brain back and to be able to shrink that cave person brain. So that's what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to ask you right now just to take a moment with me. You'll see as we go through these 14 days of how these practices come together. But let's just take a moment to breathe again, just to allow ourselves to breathe and to breathe mindfully. And again, you're going to learn a little bit about why we do this. But for now, I want you to breathe mindfully with me. And we're just going to set a little intention, right? So let's just take a moment. Again, just get into that comfortable position. We only have a few moments left to spend with each other. So let's spend them. Let's just drop the chin, drop the shoulders, and take a deep breath in for me. And take a deep breath out. And I want you to say after me, I'm going to give myself permission to take a break. I'm going to show myself kindness. I'm going to explore my mental health over the next 14 days. I'm going to offer myself a present, a gift of moving my cave person mind back to a fit for purpose, helpful 2021 mind. Okay, cool. So a little moment with you. You can open up your eyes now. So you had that pen, right? You had that pen that you had for the quiz. So this is your homework until we meet again, right? What I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to take a moment straight after this call to write down a little pledge for yourself. In other words, why are you here? Why are you attending these sessions? What do you want to see? What change do you want to see? What's your pledge to yourself? So, for example, I want to be a little bit more conscious of the world around me. You can write that down. I want to move my cave person brain back into 2021 brain. I want to monitor my cave person brain, right? I want to see if any of this stuff makes sense. Maybe I'm just curious. Whatever it is, write that pledge down, and we're going to go back to that pledge. We're going to speak about that pledge, and that pledge is going to help us commit to the next 14 days together. All right, so we're almost at a time. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Let me tell you, tomorrow we are going to talk science. So if you dig science, tomorrow is the one, right? And if you don't dig science, don't worry, because we're going to do some practice as well, and I'm going to take you to gym. We are going to go to gym. There's going to be no sweating. There are going to be no big burly men and women around us. There are going to be no cleaning the instruments. It's a different kind of gym. It's the brain gym. We're going to go to the brain gym tomorrow. So get ready to go to the brain gym. Let me tell you that the brain gym is the most peaceful, loving, beautiful gym I've ever been to, where we don't work hard at all. So it's a great gym for me because I'm lazy. So come to the brain gym tomorrow, and then tell your family, tell your friends. Remember that this link is open for anyone, right? So send it to your family, send it to your friends. Invite them to come with you to the brain gym tomorrow so that we could get a healthier mind. And this could save your life, and it could save somebody else's life. So please share this link. Get as many of your friends and family to come on down tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to brain gym. Okay, so I'm excited. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for today's session. The takeout is that we do have that cave person brain, but that we can move that cave person brain to 2021, right? We can move it there. And so this is what we're going to do over the next 40 days. So I'll see you in the brain gym tomorrow. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy it. Chat tomorrow. Okay, get ready for the gym. See you then. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.